Hey everyone, and welcome finally to another PSA in the Binding of Isaac. Today I'm going to be talking about the Devil Room spawn mechanics. And really they're not too difficult to understand, it's just a little bit of memorization. There are only a few things that affect it. And hopefully I come across a tarot card. I really need a tarot card right now so that I can demonstrate one of them. The first thing to know is you cannot get a deal with the devil from killing the boss on the first floor or on floors after the Womb 2. So that's basement / cellar 1, cathedral, shoal, and chest. You just cannot earn a deal with the devil room. The only way to get to those devil rooms is by teleporting to them from either that would be the curse room, one of the chests can teleport you, and I don't remember the chance of that off the top of my head, or from the Joker card, which can also, well, it does teleport you, guaranteed. But, you know, you gotta find that for that to happen. Next, into the chances. You start with a base of 1%. The first formula that it checks for the chance is going to be F1 equals math.min of 0.3 and have effect 51 times 0.2, that quantity plus 0.01. So what that means is the minimum number of either 0.3 or whether or not you have the pentagram times 0.2. And of course whether or not you have the pentagram is a number 0 or 1 because, you know, that's true or false. But as I understand it, have effect actually allows for numbers greater than 1. So if you have 2 pentagrams, as I do, that would be 2. So 2 times 0.2 is 0.4, which is higher than 0.3, so that's a 0.3 there. But if you have no pentagrams, that's a 0, and that's the lower number. So having no pentagrams, your chance starts at 1%. Having 1 pentagram, you have 21% because you have 0.2, which is lower than 0.3. Having 2 or more pentagrams, and there is a way to have 2 pentagrams, possibly more if you're really lucky. Then you have the 0.3 because 0.3 is lower than 0.4 or more. So that would be 31%. So, by the way, to get 2 pentagrams, you'd have to either be really lucky re-rolling multiple items in a boss room, or have a boss room and a boss challenge room give you the pentagram on the same floor without having taken one. So what I'm going to do here is, just because it really helps me illustrate things, is I'm going to give myself the deck of cards just so that I can kill a beggar. And then I'm going to give myself the Book of Revelations back. Okay, so we've talked about the base chance there. The next thing I'm going to say is if you've already been to the devil room on the floor, you have a 99% chance of being able to go right back into it. Or back into it if, say, you teleported there from the Joker card before and then you kill the boss, there's a 99% chance it will still be there. Anyway, I'm going to kill this beggar. And what that does is that sets beggar killed, which is a variable true or false, to true, and that is a variable throughout the whole game. If you've killed a beggar in the game, you have an extra 35% chance of being able to go to the devil room after you kill a boss. So that's pretty valuable. Okay, so we've talked about the pentagram, having been to the deal with the devil already, and killing a beggar. Okay, so that's cool. Next, if you have the Book of Belial, you get a 25% extra chance of being able to go to the deal with the devil after the boss. By the way, right now I should have over 100% chance. And as you can see, it did spawn. If you have the Book of Revelations, you'd rather have the Book of Revelations than the Book of Belial if you're going for the devil room. That gives you an extra 35% chance. And note that I believe the Book of Belial doesn't add to your chance if you're Judas, which, of course, that sucks. Like, why would you want that then? So that's something to keep in mind. And there you can see the 99% chance came in through, and I don't believe it's supposed to set it to 0, but it might set it back to your base chance once you leave. So there it's gone, because we've already been to it twice. We also did something which increases our chance by 35%, and that is not taking red heart damage against the boss. If you don't take red heart damage against the boss, you gain a 35% chance. That's not a global thing, that's of course based on the floor. But killing a beggar is a 35% chance increase permanently. That's great. So if you have the chance, you want to kill one beggar in a game. So let's see, we've talked about all of those chances. Pentagram, or 2 pentagrams or more, if you're crazy lucky. Book of Belial. Book of Revelations. Killing a beggar and not taking damage on the boss. Then if you've already been to the Devil Room, there's that increased chance. That's great. But you notice that you don't tend to get deals with the devil multiple floors in a row, now do you? Well, that sucks. I wonder why that is. That is because, first, it checks if you have been to a deal with the devil in the last 2 floors. So what it does is it checks if the last Devil Room, which is going to be a number, because the floors are just numbered in the game's code, so I'm on floor 3. Last Dev, which is what the variable is called, root.lastDev. Last Dev is the last floor you got a Devil Room on. Okay, so that's going to be 2 for me, and if that plus 3 is greater than my current floor number, my chance is multiplied by 0.5. That's a 50%, well, it's 50% of my chance. So that's why I believe that your chance can go over 100. I don't think that the chance is bounded at 1 because of the fact that it multiplies your chance. So after it checks if it's been in the last 3 floors, well, okay, it checks greater than, not greater than, or equal to. So if you were there 3 floors ago, you're totally fine. You're back to your normal chance, like of whatever it would be. After it checks if you got a Devil Room in the last 2 floors, so that it can decrease it by 0.5. It checks if you got it on the last floor, which also multiplies it by 0.5. So if you got a Devil Room on the last floor, your chance is 1/4 of what it should be. If you got it 2 floors ago, it's 1/2. The max chance you can really have is 136%, I believe, and that means that you only have like a 34% chance if you've been to it on the last floor, and a 68% chance if you've been to it 2 floors ago. So that's why you want to be careful about using your Joker cards very carefully, or your teleports or whatnot. But that's what you're stuck with. You want to use it the floor after you've been to a deal with the devil, just because you have a very low chance of it in that case. So just to recap, you start with a 1% chance. If you have 1 pentagram, you get an extra 20%. If you have 2 pentagrams, you get an extra 30%. And it's possible to get 2 pentagrams if you're really lucky, or very patient and skillful and have like the nuns have it in the D6, and that's a way to take damage without dying. Next, it checks if you have the Book of Belial, and if you do, you get an extra 25% chance. Next, it checks if you have the Book of Revelations, and of course you can't have both the Book of Belial and the Book of Revelations, so you're going to get one or the other. And if you do, that's a 35% chance. So if you're going for deals with the devil, you want the Book of Revelations. Next, it checks if you've killed a beggar in the whole game. And I don't know if that counts if it's a demon beggar, but it probably does. I don't know. But if you've killed a beggar in the whole game at all, you have an extra 35% chance. That's great. Next, it checks if you didn't take red heart damage on the boss of that floor. So if you didn't, extra 35% chance. And note that we just got it with a 34% chance right here. And yes, soul heart damage on the boss does not count. It just doesn't. We didn't get 1% there. But actually, since it's multiplied by 0.25, it's not a 100% chance there. It's well, 99% chance there. It's somewhat lower. Okay. And if you've been to it, it adds a 99%. Don't know when it resets, honestly. It's got to reset somewhere, but it's, you know, my base chance right now is literally 100% almost. It's, let's see, 31 plus 35 plus 35. That's 101% base. So not taking damage on the boss puts me up to the 136. But just note you can have that 100% base chance of getting a deal with the devil before the game multiplies by something. But note that getting it here means that it's still 0.25 times my chance on the next floor. So 0.25 times 1/4 chance if you got a deal with the devil on the last floor, 50% if you got it 2 floors ago, normal if it was 3 floors or more. Also, for Krampus, Krampus is a 1/10 chance in any deal with the devil, but it's an increased 1/3 chance if you've already taken a deal with the devil. So that puts it at around 4.3 out of 10, so 43% chance if you've taken a deal with the devil, then Krampus will be in there. And that's about that. That's how to get deals with the devil, how to know what you're doing. Note that taking no damage on the floor is inconsequential. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want on the floor. But taking no red heart damage on the boss, that's how you get the chance. I think that about does it. I think I explained everything there. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.